Alright. Get out of here and finish this up, shall we? You're still ignoring me? Yeah, apparently. Okay. I'm not going to argue with that. Ow. Okay, bridge time. Means a few more loading screens, but we'll get there. I really wonder what's in what the treasure map reward is going to be, or would have been, if I had actually had a chance of finding it, which I don't think is ever going to happen. I have no idea where that last piece is. Though, actually, I think it might be the hardware labs, come to think of it. I saw something like that there. You know what? Might be our last chance. I need to investigate that. And I can get there through the lobby. I think it was, that's across the way from here and upwards. Screw off. Alright, so I'll have to take the stairs. I couldn't jump it. On the other hand, I could, I could just use my powers quite liberally, because there's coral everywhere. Almost like you're gonna regen no matter where I go. Most of the time, anyway. How do I get on top of that one? Help conferencing go through? Yeah, it does. Okay. I'll do climbing then. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I don't even worry about me. I'm fine. Oh, fuck. Alright, I guess I'm permanently sealed off from doing that then, unless they let me move around after I finish with this null wave thing. Alright. Back into the lift it is. Arboretum, please. Home, James. Through the park. Take the scenic route, if you would. There's good man. Take a little scenic walk through the park to reach the bridge, shall we? Yes. Yes, quite. Delightful. Are we there yet?
Microgravity detected.
You know what? I'm going to try the escape pod just to see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and make an extra save to use as my trying out the different endings save. So first, we'll pop in the escape pod, see what happens. Then we'll reload the save and go about doing what we were actually going to do.
Morgan, I don't know if you've seen, but there is alien matter ripping through the hull. You have to move. Боже мой. Every window in this station. It's engulfing the place. It's everywhere.
I don't know what Boshemoy means, but it sounds cool.
Morgan, don't.
Yeah.
I'm only a shallow copy of you, and I know better than to abandon Talos I. If you leave now, you're only delaying the inevitable. Where do you think the Typhon will go next?
Oh yeah, it's a terrible idea. That's why I made a save game. Oh, alright. You're not gonna just do that automatically for me, huh? Fine.
Morgan, I don't understand how you got the launch key to that escape pod. Of all the ways the test could have changed you, this was the last one I expected. You're just quitting.
Yeah, I know, it's shitty, isn't it? I don't even know if this will work with the apex wrapped around the place. Again, keep in mind, I'm just doing this to see what this will look like. I'm gonna keep going for the other endings.
We failed. This isn't the one.
What? Wait, no, what? No life signs, what? Does that mean trying to launch out was getting me killed because of the... Did I die to the apex?
Morgan, don't.
Okay, I'm gonna load my actual proper one because... It was this one? I don't want people thinking I'm actually trying to abandon this place. I'm not really trying to do that. Still, I like how that ending turned out to be the game over rather than an actual ending. That was kind of funny. I wonder how that arming key thing would work.
Morgan, I don't know if you've seen, but there is alien matter ripping through the hull. You have to move. Боже мой. Every window in this station. It's engulfing the place. It's everywhere.
Say Bojamoy again, please. I don't know what it means, but by the context I'm guessing it's something horrible. But damn, your voice is just so sexy. I like to hear that.
Scanning target Typhon material inconclusive. Locking calibration request.
I'm guessing the arming keys would probably also be getting used from the bridge. I like how, when we're in the low gravity situation, the when the grav lift spits you out, there's nothing to stop your momentum, so you just keep going like you just come out of a slingshot. Is there a fabricator on the bridge? I don't know if there was. No. Okay.
Morgan, Igwe, what's the update on our patient?
Commander Dahl is making a speedy recovery, and we are making our way to the shuttle bay. I've informed him of the threat to the station, and...
Fine, Morgan, I'll meet you in the shuttle bay.
Okay. Well, what I'm doing here shouldn't cause you any problems, so... But I will do this extra save now. Okay. So this is the one I am considering to be my real ending. But after I do that, I'll go back and do the destroy the station if I can as well.
I've simply acted on Morgan's orders.
Nonsense. You're a machine. An ill-conceived one. Morgan would never. You tricked her. Who programmed you?
I represent the desires of Morgan Yu, circa January 12th, 2035. Your sister created me to ensure her objectives would meet with success, and that yours would fail.
Mine? There's no difference between what I want and what Morgan wants. Not the real Morgan.
The idea of a real Morgan is fiction.
There's got to be an override.
Please step away from the terminal. You've left me no choice.
Oh. Nope. Fuck you. Okay, buddy?
You made the right choice. The terminal's linked up again. It should only take a few seconds for a signal to propagate through the coral and lobotomize every Typhon on Talos I, including the big one outside. The rest of us should get away with a mild headache. I'll let you do the honors, but you better hurry.
I didn't expect that confrontation to be happening.
The terminal's linked up again.
Where's,
It should only take a few seconds for a signal to propagate through the coral and lobotomize every Typhon on Talos I,
They're not a...
including the big one outside. The rest of us should get away with a mild headache. I'll let you do the honors.
Why did you have a psi hypo in you? That's weird. Oh, because you were a science operator, that's why. Or that was your template anyway. Okay. Wave transmitter ready. Transmit. Get wrecked.
Well, it's both an easy answer and a complicated one at the same time. It is the future, today. More importantly, our past, today. This is the work TranStar does. Every employee working together. It's immortality. And it is beautiful.
Well, that was a bit dark. Okay, now just keep in mind, if you're not interested in watching the credits, just jump ahead a little bit, and I'm going to reload the game and go back and do the destroy the station thing. But for now, I want to see what's happening here. I like this tune as well. Yeah. I saw that. Is this supposed to be the crisis beginning? Yeah, it looks like it. I got phantomed. Look how everything's shorting out as the voltaic guy walks past it. Never found out what the hell the deal with the nightmare was. Ah, Steve Bloom. I knew a doll sounded familiar. Ha! I didn't realize he was Steve Bloom, but I knew he sounded familiar. Steve Bloom. That's funny. Weird coincidence that there's two people involved in this game that are both named Steve Bloom, but Bloom being spelled in two different ways. I love the music in this game. Like the two actual songs, and even just this stuff, like the background music. It's so future 80s sounding. Actually, more future 70s. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a term that me and a friend started up that describes what the future would be like as envisioned by people from a certain era. Like, future 70s is like futuristic sci-fi that was made in the 1970s. It all has that certain kind of aesthetic and sound and look. And I think this game really has a lot of that going on. And then future 80s is the future as envisioned by people in the 80s. For example, RoboCop was very future 80s. Okay, question is, what happens now? Do I keep playing? Now entering a hidden location. Interesting. Yeah.
It's finished.
Interesting.
How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It probably thinks it was dreaming, that nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it. Ours too. It all comes down to the choices it made.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise, and later it recovered the Lightner connectomes. They were of no practical use, except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It installed multiple Typhon-based neuromods. It could mean an instinctive return to its own kind, or an attempt to integrate its dual natures. But its most surprising act was sparing Dar. While perhaps for purely selfish reasons, this, at least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos I.
Michaela.
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And then, I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite the self-incriminating content, it was willing to make itself vulnerable. Then, there was a man in psychotronics, Ingram.
Would you let it live?
Yes.
Sarah, you're next.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived without its help, and it destroyed a large number of Typhon across the station. That has to be a good sign. Further, it thwarted Dar's attempt to use us as hostages. If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37. That was dangerous. No way to be sure, but I think it has a sense of retribution. A lot of humans controlled by the Typhon ended up dead. Not that it was easy to avoid, but I think it's worth the risk.
In the end, it chose to activate the null-wave device. Why? To preserve the Typhon technology? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we have to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something.
So the theory was right after all, huh?
What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories.
I really wasn't Morgan the whole time.
Is the world today.
Oh, shit.
You spent years trying to put what you can do into us. We never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species. I need to know if you see us. I mean, really see us. Take my hand if you do.
Yeah, buddy. I killed them all. How do I... kill them all? No.
We're gonna shake things up.
Oh.
Like old times.
Interesting. Yeah, I really was a Typhon the whole time. Interesting. I had that theory a long time ago, but then I abandoned it. So... this brings a lot of questions. How did they make a half-breed like that? Did they just take a phantom and put the neural net into it? Give it empathy and stuff? And make it think it was Morgan? And why did the turrets not recognize it as Typhon? Until I started putting the mods in. And obviously it's something that Alex set up on purpose, so I'm just curious how he did that. Actually, I have to check. What happens if I say continue? Probably just goes to my last quick save, right? But yeah, a lot of people had the thing. A lot of people, like myself and at least two other people I know of, being Markiplier and 2 of the Ranting Griffin, had this theory. And it looks like they were right. Okay. Let's load actual... what is it? I think it's this one. Let's see if we can't do the other ending. Okay, I want to see what happens with this altercation if I let January attack Alex.
What the hell have you
I mean, he's going to die in the blast anyway.
I simply acted on Morgan.
Your operators
no.
locked me out of the comm terminal. We need to link up to the null wave device if we're going to get that signal off before it's too late.
Consider the risk. Alex's plan, if it works, is only a short-term solution. None of us has the right to endanger every life on Earth.
If anyone's playing God here, it's you. Your lunatic plan denies everyone a birthright to the stars.
You know how neuromods are made. The demand will only increase. In the future Alex envisions, many will die for the benefit of a privileged few.
I'm not arguing with a glorified desktop. Kill it, Morgan.
Sorry, Morgan. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. You'll have to destroy me. Which means you'll be destroying yourself.
In a way.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I'm sorry, Morgan. I didn't want to harm your brother. The directives you gave me require I do everything in my power to ensure you destroy Talos I and all the Typhon. Detonating the station safeguards the Earth, and perhaps provides a small measure of reparation. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. If you want to activate the null wave, you'll have to kill me.
Alright. Arming key time. Let's do it. I guess we are going to have to go somewhere else, but probably have to come back here. I don't actually know for sure, though. Okay, let's see. What would be the best place to go? I guess life support? Didn't have a fabricator in his office, did he? I think so.
Microgravity detected.
I'm also curious to see what would happen if we used the escape pod before the Apex showed up. I don't know if it would be any different though, actually, because considering the two endings we've seen so far, I think that the escape pod did work, but during the end, in that hidden location, they just kill us because we're a failed. Oh shit! Fuck off! Get out of here! Nobody likes you. Okay. Think
Good evening, Talos. Dr. Hadley Dalton will deliver a supplemental seminar on neural connectomes in the lobby training center later this week. Sounds exciting. Space is limited, so reserve your seat by emailing Dr. Dalton.
Screw it. Go fast. Gotta go fast. I never found out what the point of getting that super fruit was. Wait, that's just lobby. Oh no, I can... Wait. I should still be able to use the lift to go other places too, though, right? So I just have to load into the lobby zone to do it. Fine. Do it. The annoying thing is we never actually found out who December was. Even though the quest was Who's December. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. I'm looking up a wiki while I'm doing this because I want to be able to tell people about this if there's actually an answer to be found. There doesn't seem to be an answer. Okay. Never mind. Alright, on with what we were doing. Actually, you know what? I think it might be faster if I just use the fabricator in my office. I can save a loading screen or two that way. Sure, I'll have some tendrils to possibly deal with, but whatever. I have a ridiculous amount of healing items on me, so that barely even seems to matter anyway. Okay. Arming keys. Still, I think the null wave transmitter ending was probably the most interesting one. But I just want to see what will happen differently. These guys aren't even here anymore, which makes sense. Alright, arming key. And Alex's arming key. Actually, I guess I already had Alex's. I didn't need to make it again, did I? Well, I've got two of them now. But it's whatever. Power plant. Well, that makes sense. Oh, what's the best way to get to power plant? I guess through life support. So I guess I would have been going there anyways. So I'm gonna have to replay this game on my own at some point after this and do a no psionics run. See how that'll be different, you know? Rather doable actually, although I do find them a lot of fun to have. I love this pyromancy thing. what was it called? Super thermal? It's pretty great power, but it'd be nice to have to be able to go through and just see what it's like. See what the ending is like without using any of them. Yeah, it looks like they were right. The coral reached Earth in that other ending. But it looks like Alex was still working on he was still working on trying to get the two races to get along. Which could potentially end up, if he succeeded, it would mean that it wouldn't have been a danger anymore after all, because diplomatic relations and all that. So, since there was a corrupted medical operator, there's probably a technopath around here somewhere. Oh, and a poltergeist as well. That's not where he is. Oh, but he walked into it, so he's a sucker. Alright. Oh no, he's still around. Little bastard.
Atmospheric containment flush recommended.
Alright, even if there's a technopath around, fuck it. I don't even care. Okay. This way. Oh. Fucked.
Suit integrity damaged.
Alright, here we go. I really did like that regeneration power quite a lot, though. That was really useful. Okay. Let's double check something here. Coral's freaking everywhere now. Alright, time to go down to Leg Town. Although I haven't really had optimization problems in the game anywhere else, only the reactor room. Everywhere else runs nice and smooth for me.
Hello, are you here for
Although I do have a very new computer, so I don't know how it runs for other people. Okay. Let's see. You have to go down there, huh? Alright. Oh, there's the technopath. Hi, bitch. Go. want you causing problems later. Oh. Button. Aha. Just in case the old bastard want to follow me in here. Put down a little landmine field. Minefield, that's the word. Put down 3 of these things now. Okay. You guys ready? Get fucked, Typhon! Okay, now I have to go to the bridge. Fuck me. Alright. Here's the grav lift. Oh, there it is. Yeah, found me, whatever. We're so far from relevant, it doesn't even matter. So I guess we're not going to that military black site after all. Even though it sounded ominous in the backstory of things.
Hello.
Maybe that'll be relevant at some other point.
Again, Dr. Yu.
Maybe that'll be in a sequel or something. That's got potential. I found this room interesting because it seems like the only time in the game where you have to make a ramp for yourself out of glue.
Hello, nice to see you.
Although maybe there was another way, but either way, you had to figure out your own path back. There was no standard, easy way. It's not that was obvious. Not that I could have seen. The bridge was through the Arboretum, right? So, we'll have to take the lift there. I mean, this is a bunch of extra loading screens you have to go through, but at least the loading screens aren't too slow. Wait a second. I never went in here. I mean, I don't need any of these supplies anymore, but I'm just kind of curious about it. Oh, fuck off. Damn tendrils. At least the tendrils don't seem to be intelligent. Yeah, I guess I should at least max the damage on that thing. Actually, I'm curious just to see. Sounds the same as the other thing. Okay. I think I actually used it before and I just don't remember. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I make myself faster? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, that was that. I really do feel the extra speed even without running.
Recommended.
Nice to have a little extra speed. I wonder if it affects the endings if you never install a single neuromod ever, although I think the game forces you to at least install that very first one, because it was a quest. But maybe if you never install another one after that? Well, I don't know if you'd be able to beat the game without at least some points in leverage and hacking and stuff. But maybe you would. Maybe there's a way. I wouldn't want to try it though, that would sound really boring, honestly. The real mods are fun. And I'm not a big fan of the idea of making things ridiculously hard on myself just for the sake of doing it. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of difficulty. I really love playing Dark Souls games, for example, but that's different. That's not hobbling yourself. You know, it's not like playing Dishonored without taking any of the outsider powers. Nonsense like that. Can't imagine why anybody would want to do that, but some people relish making things harder on themselves than succeeding anyway. Whereas me, I just want to have an experience that's fun. For me, Dark Souls is fun, not because it's difficult. It happens to be difficult, but it also happens to be a lot of fun, so I don't mind the difficulty. I'm enjoying myself.
Microgravity detected.
Okay. Back to the bridge. Which is around this side, I think. Screw it, I don't care if the tendrils come at me this time. I've got all kinds of healing. It's the bridge, right? Yeah, the tendrils never even caught me anyway. And Philly! Spit me out and let me coast over. Okay. There we go. Okay.
I'm aware that you've primed the arming keys to destroy Talos I, so I find the activation of this null-wave transmitter station puzzling. The directives you gave me require I do everything in my power to ensure you destroy Talos I and all the Typhons.
Where's my waypoint for perdition? Hang on. Let's set that inactive.
Needing the station safeguards the Earth and perhaps provides a small measure of reparation. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. If you want to activate the null wave, you'll have to kill me.
Do I go to the captain's spot? Or where? Where do I trigger this from? For some reason it's not giving me a waypoint. Ah, okay, yep, there it is. Let's do it. Sure.
Warning, reactor
Damn right.
detonation. It's finished. All the directives you gave me have been completed, all except one. When the station detonates, it will destroy the Apex Typhon and every trace of technology derived from it, including you, but you know this already. It was your idea, after all. The alien neuromods you carry would pose an unacceptable risk to everyone on Earth if you returned. Have a seat, Morgan. You might as well enjoy the view in your final moments.
Warning, reactor detonation.
Michaela, this is Morgan. Are you on your way? I'm not going to make it. What? Everything's fine. I got one of the escape pods working. Are you sure? Morgan, something's wrong. There's no time. Trust me. I'll see you Earthside.
Wait. What? Fuck, why is it telling me to go to the shuttle bay when I don't have time to get there? He's like, okay, you just threw in an interesting twist and I don't know what I can even do about it. There's no way I can get to shuttle bay in 2 minutes, though. Or is there? No, I feel like I need to try. Okay. Well, first, let's go ahead and...
Warning,
actually, wait. No, I'm gonna... back to a load for a second. I want to make sure I can go back properly. What I'm gonna do is... okay, let me just make sure I haven't... doesn't look like I've started it yet, so... okay. I'm gonna do a proper save here on this one. Okay, now we'll do it.
Warning, reactor detonation. It's finished. All the directives you gave me have been completed, all except one. When the station...
I want to see if I can get to Shuttle Bay. Because that looks like it might be interesting. Don't know what the best way there is. Actually, no, you can get to it right from the bridge, can't? Or right from the lobby, I think.
Microgravity detected.
Michaela, this is Morgan. Are you on your way?
Now, this reminds me as well, actually. If we are actually a Typhon who was made to think that it's Morgan, what happened to the real Morgan? Is the real Morgan still alive? And where is she? Which brings up the other question of, is January actually an operator that's been programmed with a copy of our personality, or with Morgan's personality? Or has January just been under remote control by the real January Morgan the whole time, and it was actually just talking to us with Morgan's broadcasted voice the whole time?
I'm not going to make it. What? Everything's fine. I got one of the escape pods working. Are you sure? Morgan, something's wrong. There's no time.
Hang on.
Trust me. I'll see you Earthside.
Let's go out to the lobby and get ourselves a snack. Yeah, that's what I want to know. What's the deal with the real Morgan? And does this mean that the Morgan that was going through the Groundhog Day style, having neuronals put in and out and going through all the testing over and over in The Sims, was that the fake Typhon Morgan the whole time? They were studying the effects of doing that? And maybe that's why January was trying to talk to me about
please evacuate Talos I.
The nature of being the real Morgan or not. Okay, lobby. So after I get to the shuttle, I'm gonna see what happens with that, and then I'll reload and just sit here and enjoy the explosion. I want to cover all of our bases here.
Warning, reactor detonation imminent. Please evacuate Talos I.
Wait. Yeah, this is... Right. Yeah, this way. Go, 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 go. Okay, we can do this. We got time. Largely because of the fact that I started running here before the game told me to. But that's okay. I wanted to make sure I made it, you know?
Please clear aperture of debris.
Coming through. Bye, bitch. Hold on.
Reactor detonation imminent. Please evacuate Talos I.
Oh, that slowed me down. I wonder how you were supposed to deploy this bridge. I obviously did it the hard way. Got into the shuttle the hard way the first time, but that's okay. I did it. Alright, let's go. Go, go, go.
Warning, reactor detonation imminent. Please evacuate Talos.
What do we do? Take your seat next to Doll. Okay, where's Doll? Probably here? Yes.
Ready or not, starting debark operations. Pre-flight check is who gives a shit.
Good job, Steve.
Hang on to your seat. This will be a rough ride.
Go.
Warning, reactor detonation imminent. Please evacuate.
So yeah, if January was really just a standard operator that was broadcasting the real Morgan's voice to us from a remote location,
Dream.
that explains why she's trying to talk us into destroying ourselves. Because she knew that we were a Typhon double. Okay, let's skip that. Now let's see what happens here. Now in this case, how does he get a hold of us in the end? That's what I'm wondering. And who's watching this on the looking glass?
It's finished. How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It probably thinks it was
all
dreaming.
Just a simulation.
And nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it. Ours too. It all comes down to the choices it made.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise.
And no, they're talking about this like it was stuff that actually happened.
They were of no practical use. Except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It installed multiple Typhon-based neuromods. It could mean an instinctive return to its own kind. Or an attempt to integrate its dual natures. But its most surprising act was sparing Dar. While perhaps for purely selfish reasons, this, at least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos I.
Michaela.
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And then, I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite the self-incriminating content, it was willing to make itself vulnerable. Then,
because I think we're getting the impression from this scene right here that...
Would you let it live?
People can speak remotely through operators, because that's what's happening here, I think, right?
Yes.
Sarah, you're next.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived.
Unless these are all people who are dead, but their personalities have been put into operators.
That has to be a good sign. Further, it thwarted Dar's attempt to use us as hostages.
I'm not sure which one is what happened.
If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37. That was dangerous. No way to be sure, but I think it has a sense of retribution. A lot of humans controlled by the Typhon ended up dead. Not that it was easy to avoid, but I think it's worth the risk.
In the end, it chose to destroy Talos I. Why? To protect Earth? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we had to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something.
So is this still going to be the same result? This is the part that I was thinking might end up being different. But I don't know, maybe it's not.
What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories. This is the world today. We spent years trying to put what you can do into us.
Or
we never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species.
Does that mean that all that stuff was actually done by Morgan?
I mean, really see us.
But we were just experiencing a
do.
sim reconstruction of it as the Typhon. Hang on a second. Kill them all!
Is this a joke?
Haha! That doesn't really make any sense to do that, but I just wanted to see what it would be like. Okay, so then, back to this one. So yeah, is the whole game actually what Morgan really did? And then we were just having the Typhon redo it as a sim. Sort of following in her footsteps and seeing what choices it would make. That would actually explain the whole thing with the turrets, because
all the directives you gave me have been completed.
Because it was really Morgan.
When the station detonates,
but
it will destroy the Apex Typhon and every trace of technology derived from it, including you. But you know this already. It was your idea.
So it's essentially like you are
the alien neuromods you carry
Morgan, but you're not Morgan at the same time.
To everyone on Earth if you return.
Weird.
Have a seat, Morgan.
Yes,
you might as well enjoy the view in your final moments.
Warning, reactor detonation.
Michaela, this is Morgan. Are you on your way? I'm not going to make it. What? Everything's fine.
I don't know why January is doing that part, though. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I keep having this dream.
Unless it's them just trying to convince the others to stay there. I don't know if this is going to make any difference here now. This is probably going to be a lot of repetitive stuff, but... Actually, I can't imagine this turning out any differently. But let's give it a chance.
It's finished. How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It probably thinks it was dreaming, that nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it. Ours too. It all comes down to the choices it made.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise, and later it recovered the Lightner connectomes. They were of no practical use, except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It installed multiple Typhon-based neuromods. It could mean an instinctive return to its own kind, or an attempt to integrate its dual natures. But its most surprising act was sparing Da. While perhaps for purely selfish reasons, this, at least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos I.
Michaela.
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And then, I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite
so this would mean that January really is just an operator with
make itself vulnerable. Then,
Morgan's
there was a man
personality imprinted into it then.
Ingram.
Would you let it live?
Yes.
Which means I'm not sure what the deal is
Sarah,
with these things.
You're next.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived without its help, and it destroyed a large number of Typhon across the station. That has to be a good sign. Further, it thwarted Dar's attempt to use us as hostages. If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37. That was dangerous. No way to be sure, but I think it has a sense of retribution. A lot of humans controlled by the Typhon ended up dead. Not that it was easy to avoid, but I think it's worth the risk.
In the end, it chose to destroy Talos I. Why? To protect Earth? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we have to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something.
I'm still very curious where Morgan is now.
What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories. This is the world today. We spent years trying to put what you can do into us. We never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species. I need to know if you see us. I mean, really see us. Take my hand if you do. We're gonna shake things up, like old times.
Anyway, that was Prey. I'm very curious to see how they're going to follow the story up. It really looks like there's going to be a sequel. And I'm wondering what kind of role we're going to play in that. But thanks for watching, everybody. And I'll see you in the next adventure.